One of the big talks about the fraud is about Quality Learning Center. It's a daycare that has received $1.9 million. It's licensed for over 99 children. And instead of quality learning, it says quality leering outside. But the big controversy about the Quality Learning Center is that Somalians, after the video went live, they all of a sudden started shuffling children into the daycare. But at the same time, the Commissioner of Children of Minnesota was on a live stream saying they had closed the daycare a week ago.
Quality Learning Center closed just over a week ago.
How much money has this place all received? And what's...
This is the one that's licensed for 99 children. This fiscal year, they've received $1.9 million. And in fiscal year 2024, they had received about $2.2 million. So about $4 million in the last 2 fiscal years.
We're up in the Quality Learning Center, 1-800-FRAUD, as now it had been confirmed that this place was closed down, and now they're shuffling children into the daycare.
So Tiki Brown said this facility was closed.
Oh, she said a week ago.
And now, magically, it's full of cars. So how can it be closed if people are coming and going?
Now, both of these people have interesting ties with politicians inside of Minnesota. For instance, the man who's running the daycare, he was celebrating with Mayor Fry after he won re-election of mayor inside of Minneapolis. And then this lady right here seems to be a friend of Ilhan Omar, as she has photos with her outside of the restaurant, and she also has videos of her giving a tour to a separate daycare to Mayor Fry. It really makes you wonder why these politicians haven't fought against the fraud, knowing that it's happening in locations like Quality Learning Center. Meanwhile, they're taking photos and celebrating with them at events.
Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for stopping by. So credit goes to all these creators. Guys, a childcare center is supposed to be loud. Like, you would not miss it. Kids crying, kids laughing, toys everywhere, staff moving around, parents coming out and going in. That's normal. But when you start seeing closed doors, nothing visible from the outside, it all looks shady, then you know that there's a problem. Because a building with a daycare sign but no children inside, no teachers visible, no activity, just an empty place that is siphoning money, and they could not even spell learning correctly. Guys, these small details matter when you say you are going to be trusted with children and you are collecting public funds. Now, let's be clear, because something is very important. This center was getting government child care money. That money is not free money. It is taxpayers' money meant for feeding kids, teaching kids, keeping them safe, paying staff. So when the place looks empty, why money is still being claimed, people are definitely going to ask questions. And all those questions are valid, because you cannot just sit somewhere and think of schemes to make money and live large at the detriment of other people, and you think that the law would not catch up with you. No matter how long it takes, you will be caught. Now, this center, this Quality Learning Center, also has long history of violations. Not one, not two, many mistakes over time. Things like poor supervision, safety problems, paperwork that just don't add up, rules that are being ignored. And this shows a pattern, right? Not an accident. And I see some folks online defending this, and I'm like, how? And somebody will say, oh, the kids were not just there the day that Nick went. And I'm like, really? Does that explain years of problems that they have had? Does it explain why inspectors kept finding issues with that particular center? And it does not explain why things did not improve over time. Because when you take public money, you must do what it's meant to be used for. You don't sit down and say, oh, trust me, because the government already trusted you. That's why they gave you the money in the first place. And when the center quietly asked to shut down, guys, that was the icing on the cake for me. When all this attention came, guys, I see it as trying to run away from pressure, trying to prove that everything, all the allegations against you are real. Because why are you shutting down at the heat of the moment? Why are you shutting down if you have nothing to hide? Guys, all this looks shady. So when I go online and I watch videos and I read comments and I see people defending it, yes, there are some people that are defending this. They are defending it and they are saying, oh, when it went, you know, they didn't want to open the door. So they didn't want to open the door. That was why they were acting all shady. Guys, it does not add up at all. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let's see what the other creators have to say, and I'll see you soon.
You might have heard this name. We're talking about the Quality Learning Center near downtown Minneapolis. First it was closed, then it was open, and now we've confirmed it's closed again. That's all after the owners recently rejected allegations of stealing taxpayer money. Back at the Quality Learning Center in Minneapolis, it was a case of deja vu. Hi, this is Eric Rasmussen with KSTP Channel 5. We're still waiting for a response to our calls and emails looking for an explanation about what 5 Investigates found Wednesday morning. A search of the state's online system reveals Quality Learning Center now closed as of January 6th. A 180-degree turn after our cameras recorded a parade of parents and children into the business last week. The owners used that to refute a viral YouTube video claiming to expose empty daycares, collecting millions of taxpayer dollars.
Someone came to our building outside of operating hours.
So why is the daycare suddenly closed again? The Department of Children, Youth, and Families would only tell 5 Investigates that Quality Learning Center requested closure of their license on Tuesday. No answer from the daycare's owner when property records led us to this house in Shoreview looking for answers. What do you make of the fact that right after that big scene last week that they're closed again?
Well, to me, that's, where there's smoke, there's fire. Perhaps they're trying to avoid something.
State Rep Nolan West says questions about Quality Learning Center prompted him to send a letter to the head of DCYF demanding more transparency and accountability when it comes to which licensed daycare providers in Minnesota are actually open. A question KSTP has been asking for a long time since reporter Jay Coles found empty daycares receiving taxpayer funding a year ago. What do you think may actually come out of your letter, our reporting, all this attention?
Well, the idea is we need this to be taken seriously because we need bipartisan cooperation to pass any law in Minnesota. And clearly, we are in need of more anti-fraud measures.
As we reported last week, DCYF says that Daycare Quality Learning Center received $1.9 million in taxpayer funding in just the last fiscal year. Now, the agency declined our request for another interview today, but I can tell you it said the operators of Quality Learning Center must now reapply for another license if they ever want to reopen again.
Well, guys, it looks like they leered their lesson. The Quality Learning Center is closed. Yeah, so check this out. The daycare center featured in the viral Minnesota fraud video is now shut down. The license is gone. The doors are closed. The operation folded, and apparently they requested its own closure after state records came under scrutiny. This happened obviously after independent journalist Nick Shirley went on the ground and filmed what officials and the media ignored. No kids, sloppy records, fake operations, pulling taxpayer money. The people in Minnesota warned about this for months and nobody listened. Then the videos went viral. Within a single afternoon, Nick Shirley says his team uncovered $110 million tied to suspected fraud. Estimates now float around $9 billion statewide. Some claim it's even higher than that. And instead of gratitude, the response was threats. Nick Shirley says people sent him images of bodies, messages saying he would be next, doxing, harassment, attempts to turn fraud into a race and religion shield. And that tells you everything. When fraud gets exposed, the defenders panic. They don't argue the facts, they threaten the messenger. Now the media quietly admits the daycare closed. No apologies, no retractions, just silence. And suddenly politicians scramble, including Tim Walz, dropping his re-election bid while the scandal grows. This is what real accountability looks like. Independent journalism, receipts, and then consequences.
We're up in the Quality Learning Center, 1-800-FRAUD, as now it had been confirmed that this place was closed down, and now they're shuffling children into the daycare.
So Tiki Brown said this facility was closed.
Oh, she said a week ago.
And now magically it's full of cars. So how can it be closed if people are coming and going?
Fraud. Why do you have everybody in
Yeah.
Okay, this is the owner right here.
They can record. We just need to off the property.
Okay.
So you guys can record.
And so how come they said this building was closed? We're trying to speak to the owner. They won't even answer a simple question. Look, now he's going inside.
Sir, don't run though. It looks suspicious when you run, brother.
and you can smile, but you look, bro.
Sir,
just come
I'm right here.
He's right here to speak to you.
I'm right here.
Don't do that. Oh,
You can't defend the fraud.
Oh, come on. At the daycare, do it. Hey, not at the daycare.
It's official. Quality Learning Center is officially closed. Yes, Quality Learning Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota has shut its doors. Last year, Quality Learning Center took in $1.9 million in CCAP funding, and supposedly they had 99 children enrolled in their daycare. But now the funds have been cut off. The manager let a YouTuber come and tour Quality Learning Center daycare, and he told the YouTuber that Quality Learning Center just simply cannot afford to pay their electric bill anymore because the funding has been cut off. 99 children. Out of these 99 children, are there not any parents paying out of their pocketbook for their children to attend daycare? Also, this YouTuber showed a beautiful daycare. It looked like brand new toys, freshly painted paint. The carpet looked perfect. Also, something odd about this is that around December 28th, the Department of Children, Youth, and Family in Minnesota said that the Quality Learning Center was officially closed. But then we saw around the 29th, the 30th, a lot of little kids being shuffled into Quality Learning Center. And now we learned that Quality Learning Center is officially closing because they're broke. They can't afford their electric bill. Even though last year, 2025, $1.9 million in CCAP funding is what they received. We're only into the second week of January and they're out of money. Maybe they should have been learning how to manage their finances.
Guys, let's talk about the question that people are really asking. That did this place even have children to begin with? Because it's really hard to believe. And I'm not saying that that's the final verdict, right? I'm saying it because all this evidences just raises a question. And to be sincere, this question is very fair because think about it. When Nick Shirley showed up, the place looked empty. No signs of recent activities. No kids, no voices. In a place where there are kids, you will definitely hear voices from outside. No teachers, nobody, no reception, nothing. And combined with what we already know, this center already has years of violation, repeated problems over and over again. This just shows instability. It shows that something was not functioning right from the very beginning. And yet, during all that time, money was still coming in. Public child care money is based on children being enrolled and cared for. So it's natural that people will ask that if children were really there in large numbers, where was proof when it mattered the most? What they did was close down. And then look at their behavior, because when attention came down on them, they were not transparent at all about it, right? There was no, open walkthrough, no clear demonstration of maybe active classrooms. There was no effort to show, right? They didn't even say, oh, here are the kids, here is the care. Instead, shortly after their scrutiny increased, the center closed its license. And if that doesn't look suspicious, I wonder what is. Because a lot of people, which is valid, are suspecting something deeper, because opening a child care center gives access to steady public funding. And if somebody who just wanted to abuse the system, the easiest way would have just, to keep paperwork looking active, stay compliant enough, to avoid shutting down, collect money while doing the barest minimum. And when the exposure comes, just like it has come, he just shuts down quietly. Because if children were really enrolled to begin with, the center should have been able to prove instantly. I mean, we are talking about photos, we are talking about schedules, activities, witnesses, Instead, what we all saw was absence. Everything just went blank, guys. Until there's clear evidence that shows that children were consistently present in this daycare and cared for over time. These doubts will never go away, because it just raises the question that, was this about children? Was this ever about children? Guys, I'm sure we all know the answer to that. Oh my goodness. This is so wild. Like, it is really, really wild. I need to know your thoughts in the comments, guys. Let me know what you think about this sudden closing of business. All of a sudden, I really want to hear from you. And if you have found value in this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll definitely see you in my next video. Please stay safe. Mental health is important. Ciao.